Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cupid Parasite, continuing Alan's route. Hopefully we're going up now, and we're on a good thing, and we're not going to deal with the other thingies, and it's apparently going to something with demons and God. I don't know. This doesn't bode well, but it's promising for adventure and chaos, and that's what we need now. So I'm not sure who's speaking, but demons shunned by the light, they sow chaos through trials. I have no idea who that is. Gods embraced by light, they bestow rebirth and guidance during trials. It should be one of the gods that's speaking, but anyway, I can't keep doing that voice. It hurts. So anyway, good and evil, who determined that these were two sides of the same coin? The hour of reckoning approaches. Bask in the divine grace. It could be the demon god saying that, or it could actually be Jupiter saying that. Ooh. It's silly. Ooh!
Whose voice was that? I'll have to go. I think something bad's happening in Celestia.
Was it Zeus, maybe? A few days later, for the first time in a while, I ventured to the human realm with Alan and Clarice for a shopping spree. Look at this, Alan! A bath bomb that blossoms into a rose! This one's infused with lemon zest and golden ribbons. It's supposed to make your skin shine. There's so many choices. Man, 100 years in the future. 120 years in the future. Sounds fun.
A resurgent in ornate bath products. Shall we get some?
Yeah, I want to try it. The three of us chatted merrily as we enjoyed being back in Lost York momentarily. It's so funny, though, because then it's like 120 years in the future, and it's like same purses and bags and shit that you had 120. You know what I mean? Like, she's still wearing that same damn dress, so I guess the style left and came back. But, like, RB, Clarice's familiar, was hidden within her shadow, but I knew he was there because I could sometimes hear him squeak a little.
Maybe I'll get this. Hey, this collar is cute.
Isn't that a dog collar?
Do you think it'd suit him?
Him?
Squeak!
RB piped up as if to say, seriously? He's also so round, he doesn't have a neck.
This one's cute, too. I can't decide. Which do you think is better?
A collar for your familiar, huh? Look who's talking, Mr. Wearing a collar anyway.
Yes, I need to mark him properly. It's important for his safety.
Oh, I guess you're right. It could serve to ward off evil. That's not a bad idea. Ward off evil? Memories from my past life as a human resurfaced, and I recalled the rubber bracelet that Alan had made for me to ward off evil.
Maybe this design's better. The frilly ones might make lesser demons laugh at you. Squeak! No, you prefer this one. Got it. I'll buy it now.
Wait, I want to buy this too. I grabbed the bath bomb as Clarice took the collar to the register. This reminded me of our college days when the two of us would often go shopping together. I like this little moment before all hell breaks loose. After finishing our shopping, we took a leisurely stroll through Lost York.
Where should we go next? Let's see. We saw a movie and we finished shopping.
How about we take a break somewhere?
Agreed. I just spotted a donut shop in Lost York Park. Let's eat there.
Is it going to be Mal Donuts? Still around? We ventured to Lost York Park and purchased donuts from a food truck. I was going to you can't do that. That'd be weird. I mean, it's been in business for 120 years because I'm sure the CIA still exists. But a food truck, a donut truck is cool. Then we sat on a bench together to eat.
Let's eat.
Yeah, let's.
It's delicious.
Wow, this is good. Sort of nostalgic.
It's a classic donut after all. Maybe they've brought back an older trend.
Oh, well that makes sense. Recently humans have been trying to eat healthy, so I haven't seen a frosted donut like this in a while. Oh my god, how depressing. Listen, it's okay to eat healthy, because that's good for you. And, but frosted donuts and shit every once in a while is okay too. Don't get rid of them, man.
True. I prefer stuff like this anyhow.
It reminds me of Mal Donuts. Their mint chocolate flavor was my favorite.
Squeak, squeak!
RB took a few bites of Clarice's donut and seemed to agree. I'm familiar with the sweet tooth. He reminds me of Chi. Chi's fluffiness and electroshock massages were now a distant memory. Sometimes I still long for them again. Girl, wait till you find out. I don't think you're ever going to find out in this route. No, I didn't mean I wasn't thinking of the spicy end. I was just thinking that who Chi really is. I looked up at the sky as I took another bite of my donut. Mom, Dad, Chi, Auntie Sylvie, I hope everyone's doing all right. I hope that the vengeful demons would mellow out so that peace could return to hell and Celestia. The human realm was so tranquil. Was it selfish of me to think that there was no need for conflict?
Barbie, you sure love your donuts. Here, have another bite. Oh, squeak!
I heard cheerful chirps coming from Claris's shadow. The two of them looked joyous. I was happy for them, but I also felt a little sad. I wondered if he wished to walk beside Claris with their hands intertwined. Barbie doesn't leave your shadow in the human realm? He can. Oh, really? I assumed he couldn't since he stays hidden.
The familiars expend a lot of energy when they use their human form in the human realm. Exactly. He'll get tired if he comes out. He's just saving his energy for tonight. We're having a sleepover.
Oh! Huh? You're spending the night in the human realm?
Yes, it's our anniversary. We booked a hotel room with a wedding anniversary package.
Wedding anniversary? Upon hearing that, I realized something. Wait, Alan, isn't our wedding anniversary next month? I turned to Alan, who smiled awkwardly in response.
It seems like you remembered. Oh, were you planning a surprise or something?
Well, something like that. Really? Alan had surprised me every year for as long as we had been together. He would suddenly take me on a trip. Another time he said he got reservations at a nice cafe.
Oh my, sorry if I ruined the surprise. It's been a whole century since you got married, and yet you still come up with surprises. You're so earnest, Alan.
Here's the thing. It's like, we were like, oh my God, you'd think you wouldn't have forgotten your anniversary, because it's not like, well, we haven't celebrated in 50 years.
I just want to see her happy. Oh, it's amazing. You ever imagine getting into a rut?
No way.
At the very least, my feelings for her haven't changed in hundreds of years.
Alan took my hand and kissed it. See, like, it's this kind of shit. This is the way his route should be. It should be that whole, like, we're meant to be together, we're soulmates, and it's wonderful and beautiful, without you ruining it with your weird judginess and, like starting out with, like, her whining about being lonely, and then the whole baby things that kept popping up. Like, that none of that needed to be in here. Unless that's the way you're going to end it, and then that's just going to ruin it for me, like I said. But you know what I mean? Like, none of that really needed to be here. You just needed to have, like, the romance along, and him being, like, a little sad and kind of melancholy and afraid that you're going to leave him or he's going to lose you or you're going to be taken away. That's understandable, and I can absolutely have that as, like, a kind of beginner crux, the beginner problem that you're dealing with at first. You know what I mean? Or being a little like, oh, we have to move, and that kind of sucks because, like, you know, whatever. And I get that, and being like, yeah, it's a little melancholy that we have to leave places so much, but we get to go on new adventures, and I understand you being torn about it. You know what I mean? But I feel lonely is like, I guess it was a poor choice of words. But, like, I can kind of understand that, but you didn't need to throw in the weird, like, things that, like, oh, sex is pointless unless you're having a baby, or the whole, like, oh, devious acts, like kissing your husband. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit needed to come out. None of that. Stuff like this, where we're just hanging out. Oh my God, we met up with Claris again, and then we're talking like this, or whatever, before we get to, like, whatever the main drama problem's gonna be, right? Like, so then you remember, like, oh, we're like soulmates and we've been together forever and it's so romantic and beautiful, but you're ruining that aspect of the game by putting in all the other shit that you're putting in and stuffing in, and just like, why are you dragging it down when you should be doing this? Like, this moment, like, all of this is fun, you know? This is the fun little fluffy things, and, like, you know, the little kind of sad moments, him being afraid he's gonna lose you, and, like, you know, whatever, and, like, maybe feeling a little, like, you know, melancholy that you have to move all the time, or whatever. Like, that I understand. Like, I can get that, but, like, you just have to keep bringing things in that pull it down and drag it down, and it's like, why? You didn't need that, you know? Like, I don't know. So, like, when we're having moments like this, I'm like, see, I'm here for it! And then they drag it down, and you're like, well, okay, now you ruined it. And, like, I think overall it's, like, maybe a 4 out of 10 route. Because it's like, I don't think I'd waste my time. Like, there's moments where it's great, but you really kind of sour it with some of the other stuff, so. Alan took my hand and kissed it. It was a knightly gesture, but because it was Alan, it felt more intimate. Alan, you two always seem like newlyweds. Squeak! I know, same with us. Clara smiled softly, patting her own shadow. It was the first time I'd seen Clarice like this, yeah. I never thought we'd finally get to have that double date you mentioned before, Clarice. Oh, right. Back in our student days, we did say we'd do it someday. Yeah, I always wanted to, so I'm glad it finally happened. Me too. I never expected it would. A double date. Squeak! Glancing at a hidden RB, Alan seemed unsure if this even counted as a double date. Seeing the boys' reactions was so funny. Clarice and I turned to each other and laughed. I'm so happy. RB, I'm so glad we signed the pact. Squeak! And with that, Clarice finished her donut with a smile on her face. The sun wasn't too harsh and the breeze felt just right. Our joyful double date continued. The three of us enjoyed ourselves until sunset, bringing our day to a close. We're taking the subway now. Sounds good. Have fun. Of course. We should do another double date soon. Clarice winked, licking her lips teasingly. She seemed to be looking forward to the rest of her night with RB, I bet. Yeah, see you later. Be safe, Clarice. And I don't mean like, you know, whatever. I mean like because like I'm concerned about the whole gods and demons battle that seems to be looming on the horizon. And like we in the last part, we were like worried about her. And it's like, now we're letting her out of our sight. Squeak! With a bounce in her step, Clarice departed. I linked arms with Alan as we watched her go. Oh, something wrong? Nothing. Just felt like being close to you. I see. Well, me too. He wrapped his arm around my waist and we shared a lover's kiss. As Clarice pointed out, even after hundreds of years, our love still felt new. Clarice seemed like she was enjoying herself. Yeah, I'm glad she found someone special. Alan's smile was genuine and warm. He was raised by her, so I knew how much he cared. It's like our mother-in-law. Let's head home. Yeah, I want to try out the bath bombs we just bought. It sounds like a plan. We'll use it as soon as we get back. We're not going to be able to, are we? Oh, no, there we go, I guess. Upon returning to our home in hell, we started to fill up the tub with hot water. Which bath bomb are you thinking? All of them! No, I'm just kidding. We bought so many, so I had trouble making a decision. After considering each, I finally selected, a choice? The minty one? The chocolate chocolate scented. Like, I'm sorry. I never understood that, like, chocolate shower gel or bath. I'm like, no, I don't want to smell like chocolate. Like, it's not that the smell of chocolate's bad, I don't want to smell like that. That's not a body scent. That's weird. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, the chocolate one. It's probably the sweet choice. Because mint is spicy. How about the chocolate-scented one? I heard cacao powder makes your skin smooth. Oh, maybe. If you use it, you'll be even more radiant. I don't know if I'll be able to resist you. Well, if you use it, you'll look so handsome that I won't be able to look at you anymore. Just kidding. Yeah. Our playful chat continued as I handed him the chocolate bath bomb. Let's check the label. Alan scanned the instructions as he prepared the bath. I can understand. I thought he was checking the label to like make sure the ingredients or whatever. But you're checking the label on the instructions. It's a bath bomb. You turn on water and you put it in. Are there bath bombs that you have to do other things? Like you dance around the moonlight naked before you do it? Say a chant? Because I'm pretty sure any ones that I've ever had, you just take off the package and throw it in. The soothing sound of running water and the scent of soap enveloped us. I leaned into Alan and closed my eyes. It really feels like home. Sure, the place mirrored the house we'd lived in for ages, but the true comfort was being with Alan. See? So this is what I could understand her being like, oh, it's sad we have to leave our home and whatever. Not the loneliness thing. And to come to this point where it didn't really matter where we go. It always felt a little sad to leave places, but as long as I was with him, I was home. Type of a thing. That I understand. But they didn't really word it that way, so whatever. But hell was our home now, a place for demons. As I closed my eyes and listened, time seemed to pause for a moment. Our love hadn't changed since we first got married. I loved him even before that. When we first arrived in hell, it was still the same. We dated, fell in love, and united in marriage. During all that time, our relationship never changed. We gave love to each other and were loved in return. We were always together. A century passed, and not once did we separate, not even for a second. My life together with Alan felt like a miracle. There's a big smile on your face. What are you thinking about? Nothing. I'm just savoring the happiness. Yeah. Our shoulders touched, and I could feel his warmth. Even moments like this, just waiting for the bathtub to fill, were blissful. This was our unchanging daily life. It never crossed my mind that all could be lost in just a brief moment. Well, that sounds foreboding. Yep, there you go. Suddenly I heard a loud noise I'd never heard before, followed by a screaming coming from outside our window. What was that? I sense the presence of gods. The gods came to hell? I don't know, but I have to check. And you wait right here. I think it's very funny that we're supposedly in the bathtub, but we're both dressed. It's really odd they didn't, have him shirtless. No, I'm a greater demon too, and you've already taught me how to protect myself. I want to go with you, plus I don't trust that you're going to be taken away from me. I felt like I couldn't let him go alone. I held his hand, but he looked away awkwardly. If the gods came, it may be dangerous here too. All right, let's go together. The two of us walked outside our home and were shocked by what we saw. Ah, the gods are invading! That's why I told you not to talk about attacking them! Eek! I'm gonna get erased! No! Not our poor little, lowly demons. They're kinda cute. Arrows giving off a dull glimmer were fired out of nowhere and pierced the demons. The demons dispersed into a puff of smoke, vanishing without a trace. Aww! That's kinda mean. And this is... the Cupid's arrow? The golden arrow and leaden arrow attached to one another as they moved back to the owner. Attached to one another as they moved... Okay, wait. The one who caught them was a god we knew very well. Why is Sylvie doing this? There's Sylvie's little Cupid form. Run, run! What fools you are! You dare to defy the gods! You weaklings! It was Sylvie, the new Cupid. He wasn't supposed to be here. I kind of figured it was going to be the gods fighting the demon for that whatever, and not Sylvie taking it upon himself to go drag down the demons for thinking about fighting against the gods. And also, you killed innocent ones. Those poor little demons. Well, I mean, innocent demons. Not really. But you know what I mean? You killed the ones that had nothing to do with the plot. So, to overthrow the gods. You know what I mean? They were innocent in that respect. That's what I meant. Sylvie! Sylvie, why are you here? Oh, look who it is. The former Cupid and the demon who turned her into a fallen. Long time no see. This isn't his voice, but I can't help it. I don't know what's happening. Sylvie smiled, looking different somehow. His appearance was the same as a century earlier, but his demeanor had changed completely. Where's our sassy lost child we adopted? He seemed more commanding. He was a true god now. He was different from how we remembered him. His cute catchphrase was lost too. Why are you here? Sylvie held the Cupid's bow and arrow in his hand. I saw demons vanish after he shot them. Sylvie, did you do that? That's right. Demons are evil. Sylvie smirked as he pulled back the bowstring. His arrow struck more demons, making them disappear. He seems like he's gone a little crazy. Ah! They're so cute, though.
I can erase demons so easily with this divine artifact. Why do the gods let them roam free?
I feel like Sylvie's being possessed.
Eee! Stop this, Sylvie.
Hold on, Sylvie. Why are you doing this?
Why? Isn't it obvious? What's wrong with gods killing demons? You were a god once. You should know what evil beings demons are.
That may be true, but not all of them are evil.
Really? By their nature, demons just create more work for gods. And that's why I want to wipe out all the demons in hell.
Well, what the fuck would you have to do if the demons didn't give you something to do? You know? Just saying.
Is that what Celestia wants? No, this is my decision. I thought it was about time we get rid of these eyesores we call demons.
Why would you do this?
The demons devoured one of the deconsentes, Lady Juno. They deserve to be wiped out.
Oh, okay. Zeus is spinning yarns. Huh? Lady Juno was devoured by demons? Nope. We know the true story. That can't be right. Lady Juno is just missing, right? I haven't heard anything about her being devoured.
Her divine artifact is returned to Celestia. That means she's dead. Didn't you know?
But demons can't hurt Lady Juno. She's one of the deconsentes. There must be some mistake.
Even if the one who attacked her was Satan? It can't be. Satan devoured Juno.
Unless Satan is really Zeus. Then I'd believe it.
Lady Juno had gone to hell in search of something. Satan lied and told her that he had what she was looking for.
And how do you know this? Zeus told us. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know this? She didn't come back and tell you this. Whose word are you dealing with here?
Satan's friendly with Pluto of the deconsentes, so Lady Juno trusted him, but he devoured her ruthlessly. The goddess of marriage is gone from this world. You were supposed to replace her, former Cupid.
Didn't Zeus also eat Pluto? In all the other timelines, like, well, Juno and Pluto, but then like Zeus ate them. That was like the whole story thing. So like, yeah. So Pluto told us, he wrote us a letter, but we haven't seen him in a while because he's really Zeus, masquerading as Pluto. Ate Juno and then told everyone that Satan did it that would make sense. That absolutely fucking makes sense.
Yeah, you neglected your duty. He was the highest honor, and yet now there's still no Lady Juno in Celestia. We still haven't found a god worthy of replacing her.
That's because nobody's worthy enough for Jupiter to love them except for me. I mean, I'm just torn now in this between like a god and a demon. Interesting. I'm just gonna peace out and marry Raoul, okay? No.
And what of it? It's not our responsibility. It's the responsibility of the deconsentes. They should have protected Lady Juno. That excuse is fitting for a demon, one that doesn't understand that gods exist to protect humans. That's why I've come to drive you demons to extinction. You're nothing but evil beings who cause trouble for the gods.
This is really sad that we're being backstabbed, literally, by our sassy lost child. A cold smile was plastered on Sylvie's face as he pointed the golden and leaden arrows toward us. I suddenly felt weak and couldn't move. I was terrified. If I was hit with both arrows, there was no chance I could survive. I would vanish, just like those other demons.
Are you gonna get rid of us, too? Huh? Did you think you were special? Just because we used to live together? I'm sorry, but I can't trust either of you anymore.
Why not?
You knew that Cupid was replaceable, but you kept it from me.
That's because
I didn't want you doubting everything you knew. And there still was time. I was going to tell you eventually. Do you really think I'd believe the word of a demon?
He looked the same as when we lived together, but the tone of his laughter sounded so different.
I'll be back then. I'm hurt. When I learned the truth, I realized that you both hid it from me.
You know what I wonder? Because he's here killing demons, and then they're going to find out that it was a lie, that Juno was not eaten by Satan, that Zeus did it, blah, 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 also ate Pluto. I feel like it was Pluto. Wasn't it Pluto? Yeah, it wasn't Neptune, it was Pluto. Whatever. And then she keeps being sad because she wants a baby and she can't have a baby and blah, blah, blah. And they keep bringing it up. And it's like, in the back of my mind, I was like, well, we can adopt our sassy lost child, but he's a god, so that's weird. So I was thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, are they going to turn Sylvie into a demon? Because that'd be kind of fucked up. But now it seems like that might be what they're going to do. And okay. So the whole listen, when we were hanging out, it's like, we're like a real family. That kind of thing. I don't mind that, but just the constant baby harping. No. You didn't need that to lead into, if Sylvie gets punished by the gods and falls from heaven, right? Because now he's like, you're no longer a god, blah, blah, blah. And then he becomes a demon, and then we basically just adopt him as our fucking child, our demon child. You know what I mean? You didn't need all the baby bullshit for that. But, I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Because he'd be like, but I was just, and it's like, yeah, well, but then you killed a bunch of demons and we didn't tell you to, and there's really no reason for it. Because, but to be fair, any of the other gods probably would have done the exact same thing that Sylvie's doing, and it would have been like, oh, it's cool, but they'll punish him for it, watch. You know what I mean? And then he's gonna end up a demon, and we'll just take care of him, and he's our sassy, lost, adopted demon child. I'm okay with that, because you know what? I'm okay with adopting sassy, lost children. That's fine. But I still don't think you needed all the, pining and baby talk, and, thinking about, well, there's no point in having sex with my husband because we're not procreating. And it's like, what the fuck? Those weird religious-y undertone things and the weird comments and the constantly thinking about baby. You didn't really need that to kind of lead into this. But, acting and be like, wow, it's like we're a real family. Taking pictures with Sylvie and acting like that was enough to kind of lead into this where you're like, oh, look, we're like a little found family and that's so cute. And Sylvie left and it felt a little bit lonely. That I understand. Absolutely. Sure. You know what I mean? Because you used to have 3 people and now someone's gone and whatever. Could have gotten it there. You didn't need all the extra. I think they put too much of that shit in that kind of dragged the route down. Without that, it would have been way better. You know what I mean? It would have pissed me off a lot less, basically. And it would have made more sense. So, but interesting.
I'm hurt. When I learned the truth, I realized that you both hid it from me. At the end of the day, demons are just demons. No matter how kind they seem, they're wicked at heart. That's why I'm here to end you all. The golden arrow and leaden arrow, they're for matchmaking and breaking relationships. But when combined, they can pierce one's soul and erase a demon's existence. If there'd been trust between us, it might not have come to this. But you both deceived me.
He just says it so look at his little face.
So there's no bond left.
We broke his trust. That's why Sylvie wanted to kill us. I could feel his murderous intent as he raised the Cupid's bow. Ellen, we have to run.
Yeah, stay behind me.
Demons were incapable of defeating a god. It'd be reckless to fight with Sylvie. We were once like family, but it seemed that Sylvie was going through a rebellious phase that made him a threat to demons. That's an understatement. Ellen and I grasped each other's hands and backed away slowly, but 2 arrows landed near our feet, blocking our path of retreat.
Yeah, you thought you could run? Did you really think I'd just let you go?
Cupid's arrow grazed us as it struck the ground, leaving behind a burnt smell from the earth of hell. Cupid's arrow moved faster than any bullet, making escape almost impossible. We had to try. We'd be killed if we didn't run. We'd be like, Jupiter, what are you doing here? Cupid, he turns around and you bolt. I'm just saying. It's the oldest trick in the book, but he ain't been around for that long, so he might fall for it.
Damn!
Alan's eyes glowed bright red as he unleashed his demonic powers to create a gust of wind around us, but Sylvie effortlessly nullified it. The difference in strength between a god and a demon was painfully clear.
Stay still. I'll make it quick.
Sylvie took aim, smiling as he pointed the tips of his 2 arrows directly at Alan. Jump in front of him? And die? Alan turned around and braced himself. The next thing I saw was the arrows being released. No! Oh, shit. This seems like it should be a bad end. Like, oh, it's a sad scene. It's pretty, but it's terrifying. We did jump in front of him. We didn't even have a choice. She just jumped right in front of him. I was so desperate that I couldn't see my surroundings. I didn't realize what I had done until it was over. Alan was about to be shot. My body moved on its own. I didn't even think. If we, end up then somehow reborn or some shit again, I'm gonna get so fucking mad. Don't do that. I only meant to push him out of the way so we could flee together, but after a moment I started to feel a burning sensation in my back. Huh. Was I shot? Oh, I can't scream like Alan, but God, he's screaming now. Oh, I can't. I could hear Alan screaming my name. What was I supposed to do now? I was a god once, so maybe... But I was a greater demon now, too. I didn't know. That's true! Sylvie's arrows piercing me and killing me could kill a demon and whatever, but I did have divine power, so maybe there's a loophole there. Because I'm like, how the fuck are we going to live through this? There may be a loophole. I had no idea what would become of me after being shot with Cupid's arrow. Oh.
Spacey, no! Please stay with me!
Alan's hand was gripping mine as he pleaded for me to stay. It's weird because this feels like it would be a bad end, but I don't think we're near the end. But it was no use. Any feeling in my body began to fade. I recalled our sandcastle being washed away by the waves. That was the sandcastle we built together with Sylvie, just the 3 of us. That sandcastle had fallen apart long ago. A quiet memory, destined to fade into nothingness. Oh, I see. That's why we couldn't be a family. It was impossible to begin with. Gods and demons couldn't truly be a family. We only lived together for 1 year. For gods and demons, 1 year was inconsequential. It made sense that he'd start to hate demons. Still, it made me feel sad. For me, that year was full of precious memories.
Spacey, please! Stay with me!
Even in my current state, I could sense that Alan was holding me up, attempting to fly to safety. That meant Alan was safe, right? Relief washed over me, but at that moment I felt my form start to wane. Even though I was a greater demon, I still never stood a chance against the gods. I'm sorry, Alan. I promised we'd always be together. I really believed that it was forever. We had talked about celebrating our wedding anniversary together next month. I still wanted to be with you. But that was a promise I couldn't keep anymore. There's definitely a loophole, we're not gone, because, that would be a really way suffer the judgment. To, end the, My eyes fluttered open. Interesting. Huh? I'm alive? It was pitch black, but when I looked down, I could make out my own hands. I looked around, but there was nothing. Not a single sound could be heard. I was standing alone in the darkness. Where am I? Ah. You'd think it's supposed to be Pluto, but I don't... It's kind of hard because then, whoever was saying, all that stuff, I feel like it was... okay. If the same game logic... I know that this is, now 120 years later or whatever, and Jupiter's was a whole different, parallel universe, kind of, a whole split off. But in all of them, the common thing, I think, was always the overlying is Zeus is a shady bastard and was the one who killed Pluto and Lady Juno. Now, That might not have happened in all of them, but the ones that it came out in, I feel like that was the common thing. It's not like they were either just missing, but it was always like, I feel like that was supposed to be the common tie because all of them took place in the same time period. Like, you know what I mean? And Alan's technically did too. Jupiter's was an offshoot, but in Jupiter's it was still the same. Or maybe I'm just remembering from Jupiter we find that out, but nobody else's we do. But like, anyway, I'm still going with Zeus ate frickin' Lady Juno and then is blaming it on Satan and like whatever, because like, hi, evil plan. But if he also ate Pluto, then I feel, and if he's going to play an important role in this one, inciting the violence between the gods and demons, then, like, what now? Then he was the one in that earlier segment, like, saying all those things with the question mark thing. So then this would be Zeus. I'm just going to read it like I think, because you would think it's supposed to be Pluto. It's supposed to be Pluto, if we're in the underworld, right? But we don't know that Pluto isn't Zeus in disguise, because we don't know that Zeus didn't eat Pluto in this timeline as well. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, this is the underworld, the final stop for the dead. I hadn't realized anyone was nearby until a voice startled me. Next thing I knew, I saw a pumpkin floating in front of my face. Well, happy Halloween. Welcome to October. So, I don't think it's quite Halloween yet when this is going up, but there you go. Fitting for the month. Good evening, or should I say, good morning? I feel like the pumpkin has a jovial voice now. A talking pumpkin? How dare you! I'm not just a pumpkin, I'm Jack-O-Lantern, the guide for the dead! This is the kind of shit I expect in this game, shenanigans and weirdness. More precisely, I guide humans who lived wicked lives and demons. This playful pumpkin, calling itself Jack-O-Lantern, danced in the air. I remember reading about the Jack-O-Lantern. It led the way for lost souls, those with nowhere else to go after death. He also referred to himself as the guide of the dead. Could it be that I'm dead? Yes! Oh, you didn't realize it? I had a hunch, but it's still hard to accept. My body still had the same sensations from when I was alive. It was surreal to think that I was dead. Today's been busy. Lots of demons showed up. It's like a massive party. Lots of demons. Those must have been the demons that Sylvie killed. Suddenly I remembered what happened just before my death, and I gasped. Is Alan safe? Where is he? Whoa there! What are you talking about? Have you seen a demon with purple hair? His name is Alan. Alan? No, I haven't seen a demon by that name. Then he's probably safe. I felt relieved, but at the same time, I felt a sharp pain in my chest. Oh, this wasn't good at all. I left him behind. What should I do? I knew he was heartbroken. I could always feel his pain because he was my paired angel. Let's go! Go? Where? To the gates of the underworld! Okay, so it wasn't... well, I mean, I still think Zeus might be masquerading as Pluto, but... Jack-O-Lantern led me to this enormous, ominous gate. The gates were enormous and made of lifeless gray stone. Were they also ominous? Because didn't she just say enormous, ominous gates, and then she said the gates were enormous? Said that already. It all felt strangely familiar. These gates reminded me of the gates of heaven. Alan had mentioned that the relationship between hell and the underworld was similar to Celestia and heaven. Perhaps that was why. Once you pass through these gates, you'll be reborn as a human. That would erase your existence as a demon. What? Erased? Of course, demons are creatures of evil, but don't worry, your essence will nourish the next demon to be born. So demons are also reborn? That's not exactly true. Demons come from the wicked hearts of humans. Huh. Humans are the one who created demons? Oh, you didn't know? The goodness of their hearts creates angels, while their wickedness creates demons. That's why they talk about your inner demons. Angels and demons vanish when they use up all their powers. After that, they come here to the underworld. That's why demons are never reborn as demons. That would violate the rules of the world. But I do believe that your essence will be recycled. Recycled? Exactly!
Exactly! Your demonic being will be reforged into humans or animals. Unless Lord Pluto takes a special liking to you, most demons don't have a soul as humans do.
Lord Pluto decides that?
It's usually determined at the gates, but if Pluto sees a demon as beneficial for humans, they can escape final judgment. But I haven't seen that happen in the last 1,000 years.
We will, because we are beneficial to humans, because we were helping them find love. Jack-o'-lantern floated around me playfully. We'll have to prove ourselves to Pluto.
Demons get pulverized and then recycled. It's like going green.
Awesome. Pulverized. So once I go through these gates, I'll never return to this form? Jack-o'-lantern made it sound so casual, but the implications were horrifying. I'd be crushed up like trash and my essence recycled. I would never return to my original form. And it was clear from what he said that demons wouldn't be reborn.
Oh, this is an don't pass through the gate. Don't pass through the gate. Girl, don't pass through the gate. Yeah, okay, I didn't think there's not even a save point here like bad ending.
I kind of feel like there should be. What happens if you do? What happens if you do? Wait a minute. I'm going to cheat for a second. I'm scrolling down. No. Even in, I looked because right before this we did our save file, right? Before we checked the bath bomb. I was wondering if in that one, I scrolled up fast so I didn't really see anything. But I went to save file 2 and it still says don't pass through the gate. Alright, well. I don't think I can go through.
Why not?
Because there's someone I don't want to forget. If myself was erased, I would forget Alan. I couldn't bear to forget him. That was why I couldn't pass through the gate.
All the more reason for you to go. If all goes well, you might become part of an ant that happens to walk through that guy. You're not really good at selling this jack-o'-lantern. How long have you been doing this? Are you new here? Is this your first day on the job?
But if I lose my soul, I won't be myself anymore. Alan wouldn't be able to recognize me. I don't want to forget about Alan. I'm sure that it would hurt Alan if I forget him too. That's why I'll stay right here.
You're so stubborn. Not many demons cling on to their past lives like you do. But trust me, you'll want to leave soon enough. In the end, all demons go through that gate.
I'm different from other demons. I used to be a god and a human, and an angel. I've fucking been around the block.
I don't know about that. Every demon I've ever seen has wanted to go through that gate eventually. Being alone in total darkness is nothing but pure agony.
It doesn't sound fun. After Jack-o'-lantern said that, I glanced behind me. All I could see was an endless stretch of darkness. The thought of being here alone for eternity sent shivers down my spine. Jack-o'-lantern had a point. The idea of being trapped in eternal darkness was horrifying. That must have been why other demons chose to pass through the gate, even if it meant they would disappear forever. Yeah, but you don't have to be here forever in eternal darkness. Like, for eternity, because at some point, like Sylvie shooting his arrows, Alan's probably going to die or give up. So he'll end up here sooner or later, right? It's romantic and tragic. I will endure it, I'm assuming. I can't take it anymore is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I can't bring myself to go through the gate knowing that I'd forget about Alan. I just couldn't believe that I was dead. Wasn't I still here? Didn't I still have a consciousness? Where was there truly no way back? I thought that my blissful daily life would go on forever. Was this my punishment for having those arrogant thoughts? I knew that nothing would stay the same together. Yet I believed in eternal happiness. I believed that Alan and I could have that. No, I'll find that eternity. I won't accept this. I recalled Jack-o'-lantern had mentioned that an exception could be made if Lord Pluto granted it. In that case, my first step would be to find Lord Pluto, god of the underworld, and hope he's not Zeus this time. Even if I couldn't find him, I wouldn't give up. I'd do anything to meet with Alan once more. Hey, where can I find Lord Pluto?
Huh? Don't ask me, I just guide souls to the gate.
Oh, but this is the underworld, right?
It sure is.
Then he should be here somewhere. I'll search for him.
Hey, that's impossible. That's like searching for a needle in a haystack.
But there's a chance, right? I have to try.
Fine, I'll play along with you for now, but all I can do is light your path. I didn't know how much time had passed since then. Yeah, but he's going to light my path, but then I'm not alone because I have a talking pumpkin. There was only darkness, no day or night. I was unable to gauge the passage of time as I wandered through the underworld. Do you think we're going to, when we find our way out, it's going to be like decades or centuries that he's been alone pining and waiting for us? With a lantern illuminating my step, I continued to search for a god I'd never met. Hey, do you know how long it's been since I came to the underworld? Maybe about 3 hours? Huh, it's only been 3 hours? Haha, surprised! Walking in the darkness makes it feel like time drags slowly, or it's only going to be a few hours, whatever. Well, ready to give up yet? Just say the word and I'll guide you to the gate. I'm not done yet. It's been 84 years. Jack-o'-lantern was my only company. The only sounds that could be heard were the occasional questions and answers between us. See, I mean, like, it's stuff like this, we're getting on a good track. Now we're having fun. Weird shit's happening. Crazy stuff's going on. Like, that's all I'm saying. Just keep it like this. No matter how far I walked, I found nothing. I had no idea that the underworld was like this. How long has it been now? About a day. That's it? Felt like I'd been walking for days. Walking aimlessly in the dark must have really taken a toll on me. Pluto's just like hiding behind a shrubbery, just like, interesting. But not once had I thought about giving up. Alan was waiting for me. At that moment, I thought I saw something glowing in the distance. Could that be Lord Pluto? Clinging onto that sliver of hope, I ran toward the glow. But as I approached, I realized it was the gate of the underworld. Man, we made a big-ass loop. After all that walking, I just returned back to where I started. Oh, no. In shock, I fell to my knees. I no longer had the strength to stand. Well, are you tired yet? No, I'm fine. You don't look fine to me. You're wrong. I told myself that I just needed to rest a little. Then I'd start searching for Lord Pluto again. But I couldn't even get up. I tried, but it was no use. What if I ended up wandering around this place forever? The darkness was more draining than I'd expected, and I couldn't move away from the gate. Despite its ominous appearance, there was something about the gate that made me feel some relief. I couldn't walk anymore, so I contemplated what to do next. Don't go through the gate. I want to move away from the gate. Now there's a save file 3. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I want to move away from the gate. Alan, I pictured the face of the love of my life, trying to muster enough strength to keep going. I knew I had to continue to walk. Alan, I had to try everything in order to see him again. Spacey! Alan? I thought I must have been hearing things in my deliriousness, but when I turned around, I realized that he was actually there. Did he get shot? So what I tell you? You just have to wait for him. He'll show up. Alan was here. He was really here. Like, yeah, of course. Like, what the hell? He shot you. He shot me. Like, I'm just saying. That's what I said. It's really ominous and sad, but... Alan! I ran up to embrace him, but suddenly stopped, sensing that something was off. Oh. I couldn't touch him, and our gazes saw past each other. Where are you? Alan? Spacey, please. I want to see you one more time. Or did you already pass through the gates of the underworld? Alan, please notice me. I'm right here. Oh man, I thought he ended up dead here too. I tried to reach out to him, but I couldn't comfort him with my touch. Alan was desperately calling my name, and I had no way of telling him I was right in front of him. Why? That's because he's not dead. The living can't interact with the dead. You two can't talk or touch each other. You're Jack-o'-lantern. Alan looked at the talking pumpkin next to me. Apparently he couldn't see me, but he could see Jack-o'-lantern. Spacey, have you seen my wife? Whoa, don't look so ominous. If you're looking for your wife, she's right here. What? Try talking to her while touching me. You should be able to hear her then. I cautiously reached out to touch Jack-o'-lantern before speaking up. Alan, can you hear me? Spacey, are you really there? This is so adorable and sad. Yes, Alan, I'm right in front of you.
And then you're really dead.
It seems that way. His face twisted into a frown upon hearing my answer. He looked hurt as he tried to reach out to me. My cheek was where his hand was, but I felt no warmth or sensation. The walls separating the living from the dead kept us apart.
I'm sorry, Spacey. I said I would protect you.
Are you going to bring me back as your familiar? Because, that would work, right?
In the end, you were the one who protected me, and only I survived.
Don't apologize, Alan. I should be the one apologizing for jumping out like that without thinking.
No, if you hadn't protected me, then I would have been the one shot by the arrow.
How are you even here, Alan? I thought demons couldn't go to the underworld.
I made a deal with Satan to bring you back.
A deal? Uh-oh.
Yes, so let's go back together.
Alan smiled more gently than usual, but I could see the tension in his eyes. Uh-oh, I'm scared of what this deal is. It was a gaze full of determination. I worried about what kind of deal Alan made with Satan. Same. Pursue the matter, don't pursue... I feel like we should pursue the matter. Ooh! Uh-oh! Uh-oh. Maybe if we don't pursue the matter, we go back and then it's a bad deal. And if we pursue the matter, we'll be like, no, I can't let you make that deal because if I don't get brought back via Satan, then the deal falls through. Yep, pursue the matter. Okay. Alan, what kind of a deal did you make with Satan? No demon helps without expecting something in return, right? Are you sure it's okay? What did you sacrifice? That's funny that's a spicy choice, but
it's nothing for you to worry about.
Unable to get a clear answer, I felt helpless. Alan was the only one who could rescue me now.
Come with me. I learned how to open a stairway to the surface.
Alan touched the gate of the underworld. It vanished, revealing a long stairway. This is...
If we climb those steps, we can return to the surface. That is, only if I don't turn around in the meantime.
Oh, God, don't do it! I would hold his head forward and be like, do not look back. Do not look back. Huh? Isn't that... I recalled the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. Alan nodded with a tense expression. He must have realized it, too.
That's the rule of the underworld. This is our last trial.
You better not fucking look back, you son of a bitch.
I must not turn around until we finish climbing. Even if I can't hear or sense your presence, I have to walk straight ahead. Spacey, will you say that you'll follow me?
My answer was already clear. Oh, God, this makes me so tense. Of course. It makes me so tense thinking that he's going to turn around and look back. It's a good ending, so he's not gonna, but I feel like in a bad ending or something, he's going to turn around and it's all going to go to shit. I'll follow you no matter what, Alan. Please don't worry. Well, now we better save file 4. And there's 4 other endings, right? Because we got the spicy end, the sweet end, we had a bad end, and then we had a spicy odd end, or some kind of, not a spicy bad end, but a spicy something else end. So, well, we might actually be getting close to our ending. The way it was going, I didn't think it was... I kind of thought like the whole war with the gods thing that they kept leading up to was going to be a hell of a lot more than just Sylvie being a psychopath, but okay. But this seems like a point where you would have a really bad end or like a good end. Like, you know, where like we managed to make it through, but if he looks back at me, I swear to God. I'll follow you no matter what, Alan. Please, don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Then let's go together so we can return home.
Don't look back. I don't know how long we climbed.
I only hear my own footsteps.
I'm not sure. I guess we're supposed to be Alan.
With each step, I could tell my thoughts were becoming hazy and out of focus. This is the air of the underworld. It was too thick for demons and filled with purity. I took shallow breaths and felt slightly off balance as I continued to climb up the stairs. With my mind in a haze, I started becoming confused about whether I was climbing or descending. I was sure she was also frightened for her life in the same way. I wanted to reach out to her, but I knew I couldn't. That made me more irritated. Spacey, are you there? There was no answer. That was expected. Jack-o'-lantern, the medium through which I could hear her voice, was no longer here. I had no way to communicate with her.
I like the fact that we're in his head right now because you're like, keep facing forward, even if you have to crawl on your hands and knees.
Spacey, you didn't slip and fall down the stairs, right?
But the thing is like, there's no point in turning around and looking back because you won't see me. You can't hear me or see me, so there's no point in turning around.
There were no railings anywhere. Considering how clumsy she was, I worried she might have tripped and fallen. I thought I heard a voice from far away.
That's interesting because there was actually a fucking voice in Japanese saying something, and I have no idea what they were saying because it was very quiet, but it was like, I'm wondering if it was supposed to be her. I don't think she's voiced, though. Huh.
It must have been a voice from the trial. It compelled me to turn around. The gods were trying to confuse me.
Oh. Okay, you can hear it. It's kind of like, I do wish they had subtitles for that, because you're like, it's a woman's voice trying to, like, lure you. But again, I don't think she's voiced to the point where it was supposed to sound like her voice, you know what I mean? So that he would turn around and be tempted, you know? I did say kanojo, which is her, right? Or something. So, like, it is someone trying maybe to get you to, like, look back. I can understand a word every once in a while. But it's also very faint. So, like, even for me, because, like, my headset's really down low.
Bringing back the dead was against the rules of the world. It was a forbidden sin no matter what price was paid for it. Shut up!
Huh.
That's not true!
I really wish you knew what she was saying, because, like, also I'm very concerned about the voice. Girl, you need to stop. I need that voice to not, because, like, sometimes having the voice acting on, like, okay, she's still going.
Even so, I must trust her and keep climbing.
It's really annoying, though, that you can't, like, skip through it, because, like, now it's just a voice talking and you have no idea what the fuck she's saying. So, like...
No! She's here. I just talked with her earlier.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. Like, you have a voice, but they have to know when they're translating the game that, like... Even if you have the voice acting on, that's why you have to translate the game, because we can't understand Japanese. So, like, if she's speaking and he's replying back to her like this, they should have had it somewhere on the text, like, voice, and actually translated that. But it's kind of like, they don't do that. They're just like, here's the transcript, and then do it, and nobody goes through and, like, thinks about moments like this, where it kind of is like, well... Yeah, so I have no idea. He's responding to a voice, but then I've got to hear the voice and I got to listen to her whole speech. But it's like, I don't understand a word she's saying. So, like, can I just skip through it? like, let me just skip it. Let me just skip over it. Because she's going on long sentences. And it's like, let me just skip it. Because I don't know what she's saying. So it's kind of like, okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I get it. It's probably difficult for them to translate because they can't just, here you go, here's the text. And then you turn around and translate it. You'd have to listen and do it. So, and I can't even skip her voice. It's like we just have to sit here and wait for her to shut up.
Shut up! I ignored the voices in my head and kept climbing. I still couldn't see the surface. Looking up at the seemingly eternal stairway, I began to feel dizzy. How long must I listen to those voices? Would I really be able to trust her? I couldn't hear her voice or footsteps. I didn't know if I could trust that she was there.
Aw, that's what the voices are trying to do, I'm assuming. Sweet and spicy darling! We got our ending. Okay, so... Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay, so it's about an hour. We could get our full ending in this part, but I think sometimes this last chapter is like 30 minutes or so, so I'm gonna cock block us all. I'm gonna end it here. And if for some reason, like, the last chapter is only like 15 minutes or something, I'll edit it together and you'll never see this. But if you're seeing this end, then our sweet and spicy end was at least 30 minutes, you know? So that'll work out a little bit better, and I need a little bit more buffer. So, I'm cheating the system a little. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.